Hey, welcome to Guitar and Record, a show where I talk about my favorite guitar players and their best recordings. And this week's really special because I just happen to know and have played with everybody on this record. And it's a really special record for the improvised music scene in the Pacific Northwest, which I was a part of. And this band is Stackpole. And the leader of this band is a good friend of mine, Dennis Rea, one of my favorite guitar players in the world. And Dennis has done a ton of records. He's got a bunch of great bands, progressive rock bands, and kind of stuff like that. His other band, Moraine, is really, really pretty popular in the prog rock scene. And he's just a really inventive songwriter, composer, and great guy, and a great improviser. On this record is Dennis Rea playing guitar, Jeff Harper playing bass, Wally Shoup playing alto sax, and who am I forgetting? Oh, the great Greg Keplinger playing drums, and Greg's a friend of mine as well, and a great snare and kind of percussion maker. Super cool guy, well loved all over the world, and especially in the Pacific Northwest. So anyway, this record, if you've never heard of it, there's some videos on YouTube, and they basically were around for 3 years, and this record came out in 2000, and it really captures what they were doing live, which is improvised. And I have never asked Dennis about it, but they were really, really well loved, mostly because everybody in that band was such a high caliber player, and just, like it's like a super group of basically, Seattle improvisers. And so to kind of, it's kind of interesting because from the rhythm section standpoint, like Jeff and Greg, they're doing some swing stuff where, Jeff Harper, the bass player, is doing kind of walking bass lines, and Wally's a completely free player as far as alto sax playing goes, and he's blowing over the top, and Dennis is doing great kind of free guitar playing, but very melodic as well. That's why it works, because all these parts just kind of magically kind of coalesce into these kind of cool fabric or musical fabric that you can kind of pull a lot from. There's lots of energy, there's lots of stuff going on, and I'm really glad they were able to capture this and record it, because I think I'd seen them 4 or 5 times over their lifespan. And then they were just, at some point stopped doing it because whatever, maybe Dennis was too busy or whatever. But seek it out, or at the very least watch some of the videos on YouTube. There's a reunion show that I believe is on there, and I know there's a few excerpts of this record. And what I'll say about Dennis is we were in a guitar trio together. It was completely improvised, and I was always surprised and delighted by what he would come up with, and pretty inspirational. And then seeing him play over the years and get better and better, super great to watch someone that you know so well and have known for decades get to a certain point. And where he's at now, he's one of my favorite guitar players. And this record's basically 20 some years old, so what's on here isn't necessarily what you would get today, but that's what I think makes him an interesting guitar player, because he's done a lot of records recently. He did a solo record that I haven't yet to hear, where he was bringing in a lot of his Asian influences melodically, and just kind of a bunch of ideas that kind of long form, kind of prog ideas that I'm using. Prog as a general term, but I don't know what else to call it. It's not world music or anything like that. So Anyway, great texture player and just great, comes up with great lines, great parts, and just really strings them all together. And this being kind of somewhat of the opposite of that, where it's free playing, but like there's so many cool little motifs and ideas guitar standpoint wise that super inspirational. So if you don't know Dennis, check him out. He's got many recordings, Dennis Rea, and this is the one I'm talking about because it meant so much to me hearing it and seeing it live so many times that it inspired me to take chances playing guitar when I was doing more improvised music stuff. And then also kind of trying to do some of my more progressive ideas in a band. I happened to share the stage with them many times with bands I was in, double bills and all of that. So I got to see him a lot, and just an amazing guy. So anyway, check it out, Stackpole. Came out in 2000 on the FWD record label. I don't remember what else is on that. That's a smaller label. But yeah, if you can find it, check it out. And I'll try to put some links to a couple of songs on my playlist that's attached to this series of record reviews. So anyway, hopefully you got something out of this. Dennis Rea, great guitar player. That's all you need to know. Check out his stuff. And please subscribe and watch some other stuff. And let me know what you think of this if you've never heard of it. All right. Thank you. Have a great day.